This is Toledo Symphony Lab, a behind-the-scenes look at the world of classical music from WGTE Public Media and your Toledo Symphony. I'm Brad Cresswell. Joining me in the studio today are the Toledo Symphony's president and CEO Zach Vassar, TSO Marketing Director Vanessa Gardner. On the phone, we have Principal Second Violin and Artistic Administrator Merwin Sue and our Music Director Alain Trudel. Welcome, everybody. We have a great subject we're going to talk about today. We've talked about this subject in the past, and it happens to be something that is very close to Zach Vassar's heart. I'm sure that he'll tell us about that. Pay attention, Zach. We're doing the podcast.
I'm over here now. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about Mahler. Who? Gustav Mahler.
Never heard of
Gustav Mahler.
Never heard of him.
Gustav Mahler, his Resurrecting Symphony, which is being resurrected by the TSO, a special concert that's happening over Easter weekend. Vanessa, why don't you tell us what this is all about?
Yeah, we just thought it would be perfect timing and wanted to share this amazing performance. We've had it in our back pocket for a couple months, a couple of years now, but trying to find that right moment in time to share it again with the community. And we thought, what better time than the beginning of spring, just as we're hoping to be coming out of this pandemic. And so this will be aired on Tapa Streaming as a featured performance starting Good Friday through Easter Sunday. And you can watch it for free anytime during that period. It'll go live on Good Friday, probably at 7 p.m. And you can watch it anytime throughout that weekend. And we're just really excited to share this with the community again. It's such an amazing performance.
Yeah. It's the Symphony Number 2, we should say, the Resurrection Symphony, which obviously, is the tie-in to Easter there. But this is a big, extravagant performance. I mean, you had singers, you had choirs. Can you give us an idea of the forces that went into this performance?
This was an enormous undertaking, but Mahler too typically is when it's scaled. These performances happened in May of 2019, and Alain, we had choirs from the University Musical Society from Ann Arbor. Then we had the Toledo Opera Chorus. We also put together kind of a community choir project for this. But the soloists were outstanding. This is the first time we heard Susan Platz in Mahler, which we hope to hear again soon. But also Sarah Schaefer was the soprano. It was just a concert that shook the peristyle. Everybody was so moved, both performances, and notably, these were dedicated to memory of Steve Stranahan, who had passed away not long before this, and it was a piece that he had originally brought to the Toledo Symphony under Joseph Hawthorne's tenure in the late 50s or early 60s. So there was a lot of magic in the air that weekend, and it created an unforgettable experience. It's kind of a sonic spectacular for anybody who hears this piece. And now, as we get to revisit it under very different contexts, it's a big work, a big piece, big sounding work, with enormous forces that obviously for social distancing we can't collect right now.
Yeah.
But it's also a very appropriate soundtrack for not just for Easter, but as Vanessa alluded to, the reawakening of our world. And if you take some time and look at some of the text, you can seriously reinterpret a lot of the message in the COVID environment, or hopefully a soon-to-be post-COVID environment.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to play a little preview for folks just so they have an idea of what it sounds like. This is the first movement, or the opening. Okay, so if you want to hear the rest of it, you have to tune in to stream.artstoledo.com.
Oh my gosh,
was just
what a tease.
mean.
The stuff that comes right after that is just so urgent and so fantastic. I'm sorry for everybody who's driving off the road right now in rage because of what you just did to them.
I think you're the only one that was enraged by that, Zach. Toledo Symphony, conducted by Maestro, or anti-Maestro. You don't like to be called Maestro, I know, but Alain Trudel on the podium for that performance.
if you base it on that first note, it was the interpretation of a maestro. That's what you're.
Definitely.
The transcendence, and the bowing, and the little bit of of that sound from the strings. You can already hear the Toledo Symphony.
Yeah, let's
I
hear it
felt
again.
transcended.
Yeah, I hear it totally. So, Elaine, you were telling us before we got on air that you had a story about how you tricked some festival into giving you your first Mahler assignment. Let's pull up some music, and then we want to hear
This?
and then we want to
That
hear.
tease? You
Hey,
used this twice, and now
The
we got the
Great
plucking
British
strings?
Baking Show of
it
Mahler.
could always be worse. It could
To be
worse.
careful, I want to point out that I said plucking strings.
Yes.
I would take one note of this and all the other notes of Mahler. Anyway, so so I was conducting at that. Well, for many years I was conducting at the Scotia Festival of Music, which is a big deal in Canada because this guy, this visionary, his name is Christopher Wilcox, and he brought in one year the Ensemble Intercontemporain with Pierre Boulez, and we did Miraculous Mandarin and La Mer and Rite of Spring. So he's not a guy who's scared of programming huge things in the little city of Halifax in Canada. So it puts the city on the map. And one year he said, I heard this incredible organist, and for some years after I had been the conductor of the last concert, the orchestra concert for that festival. And he said, Alain, I want to you have to include him in an orchestra piece, and he was trying, to push the Saint-Saëns, of course, organ symphony and all that. And I was thinking, we already had a few ideas of what we want to play. We're thinking a lot of the players, a lot of the teachers, a lot of the faculty is amazing. And I said, well, we want to do a Mahler symphony. And I was thinking, you know what? There's about 12 notes of organ at the end of Mahler too, which he didn't know how little the organ was used. But I said, I have the piece for you, my friend. You want to include this is actually one of the largest, biggest piece that has organ in it. It has a symphony. Oh, really? And it said, yes. And I said, it's Mahler's second. We just need a chorus, and we need extra brass, and then your organist can play with us. And he kind of saw through me a little bit, but he thought it was so funny, and he said, yeah, let's go for it. So that's how we got
That was your first Mahler too?
That was my first Mahler. In this huge church, which we couldn't fit the orchestra and the chorus, so we had to play. It was about half a football field, and on my right side, I had all the woodwinds a little bit sideways, and on my right side, I had all the brass, and the percussion was somewhere else, and the extra brass were in the little chapel in the back, but they had a camera so they could see me, and in front of me there were strings, but we didn't have a lot of space. We had maybe 2 rows of strings in front of me, and all the rest on each side. It was amazing, and the CBC recorded it. It exists somewhere. I mean, it's very good actually. They all did very, very well, and of course we had amazing soloists, but we especially had just such great spirit. It's one of those things like Bernstein said, to have an incredible event or to have a chef-d'oeuvre or something like that. What you need is a good plan and not quite enough time.
That's right. The last time that we talked about this, I guess it was back in 2019, talking about this concert. I asked you guys to do a little Mahler and me, kind of talking about your experiences with Mahler. And of course, Vanessa, you weren't here at that time. Have you ever played any horn parts in Mahler music, or you have any experience with Mahler?
Just maybe a time or two.
No, I'm just kidding.
For our listeners, I would like to point out that we have Vanessa sitting here with the entire score in front of her marked up.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
The problem, though, is that I'm at the beginning here, so you need to...
Well, I was looking for the organ part.
You need to go back.
So I flipped to the end.
She's got it open to the end.
Let's see. I've played Mahler 2 at least twice. I played first horn on Mahler 2 in Sanders Theatre in Cambridge, which was just an exhilarating experience. I really love the quiet moments of the symphony.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's amazing horn parts that are just loud in your face, but with such control. And I think when it just doesn't quite go past that edge that's the money spot. But I love this moment. Oh,
we're having a little bit of a listening party.
Yeah.
We can listen for a second.
Oh, it's so good. And that horn entrance there.
It's a great recording. It was recorded so well.
Yeah.
Right. And to be able to watch the performance as well, the physicality of these musicians, I think is people are really in for a treat. And the fact that it's, offered for limited time only.
That's right.
Certainly increases the allure of this offering.
Speaking of having to bring your heart rate down, it's at the end of this movement where you have exerted every ounce of energy and control. And then there's 4 more movements.
Yeah, right. Including the ending, which is just incredible.
I remember the last time I played it, I was absolutely shaking at the end of the first movement.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the most difficult transitions, I think, for us in the string section, because the beginning of that second movement is just an entirely different world, and it has to be so poised, and it's just so hard to calm your heart rate, to make sure that you're together with the rest of your section, and that beautiful kind of intermezzo quality of that is nostalgic. It's an entirely different world, and it's just so hard to pull yourself from movement 1 to movement 2.
That's right. A 5-minute pause is written into the score.
Wow, you sit down and count to 30 and then keep moving. Count to 30 very slowly, right? Is this bringing back any memories for you, Alain, at the podium of this work?
Oh, absolutely. And one of the great things, and we touched on it very, very little, but when we actually were preparing this, we put a chorus together. I mean, there was a fantastic one from Michigan, of course. We had the chorus, but I insisted that we had a chorus that made out of a little bit of everybody, not everybody, from people from different choruses around Toledo, that the chorus master would send us saying, these are my best people from this chorus, that chorus, that chorus. And a lot of them never sang, Mahler. Some of them never sang in German. But we did every 3 weeks. We got together on Saturday afternoon before the second day of masterworks that we have at the symphony. I would get together at 1:00 with sometimes 12 of them, sometimes 20 of them, and we just get together and have a good time and talk about Mahler and sing and rehearse the chorus part. So when the chorus came in, I went like, wow, this is an effort, a true labor of love that we all did together, a mix of younger students, a mix of people that are super pros, mix of people that are just in the community, and those voices come in as one, and it was just amazing to have that experience. Wanted to do something special. We always want to do something special, but this was truly unique. I really was moved by that a lot.
Wonderful. Now, the last time that we spoke, I did a quiz with you guys, and the quiz was who said it? Was it Mahler or Mozart? So I did dial up a quiz this time. We want to do an Easter quiz because this is airing during Easter. So this is sort of our Easter special, right? So I'm going to ask you guys various questions that are associated with the holiday of Easter. And let me bring in some Easter music. Here we go.
Oh, you're killing me.
Wow.
Perfect.
You talk about having to go from the first movement to the second movement, having to listen to the Mahler, and now
that's what we do. Okay.
You really did this, Brad. You really just did this.
Absolutely. I outdid myself, right?
I'm throwing up in my mind. That's what it feels like right now. Yeah.
Okay. Zach lost already. There's no way.
Just took away a point again, right?
Here we go. Lost a point already. Here we go.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, multiple choice. The name Easter comes from where? Does it come from the Greek word for Passover, Does it come from the month in which it took place, or does it come from a pre-Christian English goddess?
The goddess.
A, B, or C? The answer is C.
Yeah.
The goddess Estra, who is only mentioned once, actually, in print, but evidently she gave name to the holiday. Okay, who declared that Easter should be on the first Sunday after the first full moon of the vernal equinox? Was it Pope Sylvester I? Was it Emperor Constantine? Or was it the First Council of Nicaea? A, B, or C?
B.
No, not
C. I'll go with C again.
Yeah. Merwin's winning.
Well, when all else fails, guess C on a multiple choice test.
Yes, very good.
You mean Merwin is there?
Yes, exactly. He's
Therefore
here.
winning.
Ergo he wins. Okay, the custom of giving eggs at Easter time has been traced back to what culture? The ancient Egyptians, the ancient Greeks, or the ancient Romans?
Greek.
Or all of the above or none of the above?
Oh, come on.
Any answers?
I said Greek, but now I...
Well, that's kind of true.
Would you say Greek
All
and
the
others?
above.
Yes.
You know, I'm just going to give it to Merwin.
Wait a second, I didn't say
He didn't even open his mouth.
The Egyptians, Greeks, and
Because
Romans.
he was eating an egg
Oh.
from the Egyptians, Greeks, and
No, there's a
Romans.
very rude Canadian
Very old
saying
egg.
about eggs.
Is it really?
Mhm.
Wait, I want to hear
I
it.
think it's Canadian. I know I can't say it on the radio.
beep you up.
We'll beep you. Hang on. Let me see if the beep is
No,
working.
I don't.
Yeah, it's working fine. Go for it.
Go suck an egg.
I don't think I timed that beep correctly. Anyway. Okay, back to the quiz.
Wow, that happened.
Oh,
All
I
right.
thought we were going to have one serious.
Okay. During medieval times, a popular Easter egg game. This was a popular Easter egg game. Okay, during
Yeah, I've
medieval
been to that
times.
restaurant. Yeah.
Was it passing around a hard-boiled egg until midnight? And when the clock struck 12, whoever was holding that egg got to eat it. Was it dancing around eggs while trying not to break them? Or was it tapping each other's eggs to see if they break or not?
C.
If your egg does not break, it means good luck for the year. A, B, or C?
C.
Medieval times. These were all customs of various times.
I like A.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, the priest would give the choir boys or the altar boys eggs, and then they would throw them and pass them back and forth. And at midnight, whoever had the egg got to eat it. It was a big trick, a big treat back in the day.
You had to pass a lot of time in the Middle Ages.
Yes.
This holiday used to be called Salmonella.
Oh, very good. Oh, actually, I meant this one. There we go. That's better.
Because that's how we
Good
cheer for
job.
salmonella jokes in this town. Yeah.
Okay, this one's a little more complicated. You have to match the custom to the country. So I'm going to give you a custom and then 3 countries, and you choose which one it fits. Okay, Easter egg showers. So they hollow out the Easter eggs and they fill them with confetti. Was that in Spain? Was it in Argentina? Or was it in Mexico? Which one of those countries?
Mexico.
Mexico, absolutely. Whoops, sorry.
Buying the miniature soundboard was a bad idea.
No, I'm still flustered by the Salmonella Festival. Okay, so Elaine got that one. All right, chocolate egg begging, where children dress up like witches and they go begging for chocolate Easter eggs from door to door. Was this in France? Was it in Poland? Or was it in Finland? France,
I'm going to
Poland,
guess
or
Poland.
No, not Poland.
Oh.
No.
Finland.
No, it isn't France. We don't pay for anything.
Yes. Vanessa got it. It was in Finland. They go egg begging. Okay, the giant omelet. This is an omelet which uses 4,500 eggs, feeds about 1,000 people. Originally ordered by a famous military commander to feed his troops, it is caught on as a custom in this country. Was it in England? Was it the United States? Or was it in France?
France.
Yeah, totally France.
How did they flip it, though?
I don't know if they flipped it or not. Doesn't say. Well,
You don't have to flip an omelet. You could just fold it over.
How do they fold it over then?
Yeah, folding it over would be tough too. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to investigate that. Ordered originally by Napoleon to feed his troops. Okay. The blessing basket, full of not only eggs but sausages and other savory treats to eat at the end of Lent. Would this be from Poland, from Russia, or from England? Poland, Russia, or England?
England.
The blessing basket. No.
I'm going to go with Poland.
Yeah. That's in Poland. This whole thing of eggs and eating eggs, a lot of it has to do with Lent because you can't eat eggs during Lenten season. So on Easter, it became custom to eat all the eggs that the chickens had laid. I mean, just because you're not eating eggs doesn't mean the hen's not laying eggs during that time, right?
Cool.
4,500.
That's philosophy.
Very poignant.
So anyway, okay.
I know.
How did early American Protestants celebrate Easter? Through animal sacrifice? through burning witches? Or they didn't?
All of the above.
All of the above.
No, they actually. These are the Puritans. So the same group that brought you the banning of Christmas decided to ignore Easter as well. It just wasn't considered to be a religious enough holiday. It also had ties, of course, to pagan holidays.
I bet they totally celebrated Halloween, though.
I don't know. I have to check that out. That's where the animal sacrifice and burning witches come in. Okay. Where did the idea of a rabbit? It's not that funny. Okay. Where did the idea of a rabbit delivering baskets of eggs to children on Easter morning originate? Was it in Germany, England, or the United States? Where this whole idea of a rabbit with eggs. I mean, rabbits don't lay eggs. I never figured that out until
England.
Yeah, was it in England, United States, or Germany?
I'm gonna go with England.
It was U.S.
I'll go with Germany.
Merlin wins. The Easter hare dates back to Germany in the 1500s. Evidently what happened was, according to the legend, there was a poor woman living in Germany, and she decorated colorful eggs for her children to find in the garden. As soon as the hidden eggs were found by the children, a large hare was seen hopping away. So they assumed that the rabbit left the eggs, and, the tradition was born.
Oh, that's sweet.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking with it.
A couple misinformed kindergartners, yeah.
Imagine what Mahler's thinking right now.
Yeah, see? That timed out perfectly.
Beautifully.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, here I only have a couple of questions left. Who oversaw the first White House Easter egg roll in 1878? Was it the children of Abraham Lincoln? Was it Dolly Madison? Or was it Rutherford B. Hayes? A, B, or C oversaw the very first official White House Easter egg roll in 1878? A, B, or C?
Hayes?
What'd you say?
I'm going to say Hayes.
Have?
Hayes.
Rutherford B. Hayes.
Oh, I was like, that's not A, B, or C.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, Rutherford B. Hayes. Dolly Madison was already dead. The children of Abraham Lincoln did
I was between
do Easter
eggs.
egg rolls, yeah. Do you know what the rolling of the egg symbolizes? Why we do Easter egg rolls? Again, it's a religious idea. It comes from the rolling away of the stone at the tomb of Jesus, right? That's what I think. That this music is great for the remainder of the quiz. Yeah.
This music is great, period.
There's more quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only one more question. You'll be glad to know. Okay. Fabergé eggs were created in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Let me turn that down. For the Russian czars, under the guidance of Peter Karl Fabergé. Fast forward, blah, 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 blah. We all know what Fabergé eggs are. Okay. There's only one requirement for Fabergé eggs.
You got to be able to say it.
Yes, you have to be able to say it. I already failed. I never win this quiz. Okay.
I know how you feel.
So, what was the only requirement to be a Fabergé egg? Was it each egg must contain a gold yolk, each egg must contain a surprise, or each egg must contain a hen? Not a real hen. It has to be like a bejeweled hen.
I go with C.
A, B, or C? Not
B.
C.
B.
B, yeah. Very good.
Which one was B?
B was it has to contain a surprise. It could be anything.
I see.
Could be absolutely anything.
Including a bejeweled hen.
Yeah. I think there were like 50 of these made. 50 Fabergé
50
eggs.
of these quiz questions?
Yeah, 50 quiz questions. But we're missing 7 of them. So somewhere in the world there are 7 priceless Fabergé eggs to be found. You talk about an Easter egg hunt, right? That's definitely the way to go. Is there anything else that we want folks to know about, getting back to Mahler, that we want folks to know about this concert? I want to do a little bit of a preview of the end before we go, but what do we say to send off this episode today?
Well, this is something that when we watch, it will bring us, it might be bittersweet because we will see so many musicians side by side, like really close and making music. But at the same time, we want to send a message of hope by having this on the air as well, is that we will come back to that. And we'll come back to concerts like that. And I think the message that we send through this is the resurrection of our commune lives as well, and the way of spending time together and finding ourselves again through this. And this music is... I know it sounds very dramatic from that first note, well, the only note that you play. But after that, it moves from, we go to the depth of sorrow, we'll go to the depth of being discouraged, but we are, and it says at some point, stand up and, you will resurrect. Do not be scared of moving forward and seeing what's on the other side. And now as we go through this pandemic that we have, we should not be scared of, hanging together and seeing what's on the other side. Might be a little different, but we should not be scared of it, and it will be beautiful.
The concert is the Symphony No. 2 of Gustav Mahler, his Resurrection Symphony, a performance from May of 2019, which is being offered as part of the TAPA streaming at TSO, Toledo Symphony. You can find that at stream.artstoledo.com. Available only through Easter weekend. Vanessa, you said it starts on Friday, Good Friday, is that right?
That's right. 7 p.m. Good Friday. It will go up.
Okay.
And then it will stay up through Easter Sunday.
Wonderful. This program is a production of WGTE Public Media in collaboration with our sponsor, the Toledo Symphony, with generous support from the Rita Barber Kern Foundation. You can download episodes of our program as a podcast by going to our website at wgte.org/lab. You can also subscribe to us through your podcast app of choice, including Apple and Google Podcasts. My thanks to Zach Vassar, Vanessa Gardner, Merwin Sue, and Alain Trudel. I'm Brad Cresswell. You've been listening to Toledo Symphony Lab from FM 91.